économique serait mais dans une bonne position. Il
when your brother is producing something and you patronizing your brother.
Listen to Planet's 101.1 FM news at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. with our news in special English at 2:30 p.m., Mondays to Fridays. Planet's Radio 101.1 FM, evolving around you.
It's the news at noon. In the news, federal government okays $3.4 billion World Bank loan application for power outages. 108 stranded Nigerians returned from Niger Republic. Nigeria assures complete eradication of polio by 2026 as World Polio Day is marked today. On the foreign scene, U.S. ends Gabon aid over coup, calls for transition. And in sports, NFF warns match commissioners against unprofessional dressing. Details of this and many more coming up shortly. Good afternoon and welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM, Uyo. I am Mary Joseph. We begin this afternoon with Nigeria's leader, President Bola Tinubu, who has assured Nigerians and investors that there is an ongoing plan to boost the country's foreign exchange liquidity. This was as the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, said that the country was expecting about $10 billion inflows in the nearest term, which would help to clear foreign exchange backlog and stabilize the naira. Speaking at the 29th Nigerian Economic Summit in Abuja, Tinubu acknowledged the challenges faced by the business community in the financial markets and assured them of additional foreign exchange liquidity to restore markets' confidence. He also emphasized his administration's commitment to strengthening governance by establishing a performance and result-oriented public and civil service culture and structure. Away from that, the Federal Executive Council has approved the application for a $3.45 billion loan to finance 5 items. They include projects in the power sector, renewable energy, state resource mobilization program, a Girls and Girls initiative for learning and empowerment, and a women empowerment project. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, told State House correspondents that the federal government would proceed to receive the $3.5 billion zero-interest loan payable within 40 years with a 10-year moratorium, meaning payment would begin from 2033. The finance minister explained that the girls program worth $700 million would support young girls within secondary school age to equip them with marketable skills in addition to the academic achievement. Explaining further, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tahar Maman, said the girls program, which initially began in 7 states, was expanded across 11. In the meantime, the Federal Executive Council, FEC, has given an approval for the creation of a Humanitarian and Poverty Alleviation Trust Fund. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Bete Edu, who stated this while briefing State House correspondents shortly after the FEC meeting at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, said the trust fund is to enable the federal government respond promptly to humanitarian situations in the country. According to her, the federal government hopes to raise at least $5 billion annually into the trust fund. Edu explained that the funds will be sourced from the federal government, private and international organizations, as well as well-meaning Nigerians. She also assured that the state government will be carried along in the project. On the care for the elderly, the minister said FEC took a decision to rectify the protocol for the protection of the rights of old people in the country in line with the African Charter. Meanwhile, the federal government has received 108 Nigerian migrants stranded in Niger Republic. This is contained in a statement by the Southwest Zonal Coordinator, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, NCFRMI, Alexander Uturu, today in Abuja. The commission said the Nigerians include 32 males, 29 females, 44 children and 3 infants. Uturu said that the migrants were conveyed to the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, camped where the NCFRMI, an international organization for migration, have a tripartite agreement to provide temporary shelter for the returnees before they are provided with onward transportation allowance to enable them to get to their final destinations. The return, he said, was facilitated by the Nigerian mission in Niamey and the IOM. To health, the national chairman of the Nigerian National Polio Plus Committee, NNPPC, Joshua Hassan, has said that the World Health Organization, WHO, and other partners have targeted 2026 as a year to end polio globally. Hassan made this known in an interview with journalists while speaking on the National Polio Day. He said that the day is to raise awareness of the importance of vaccination to protect every child from devastating diseases. He noted that the vaccine is normally given to children from 5 years and below. According to him, it is also a day for advocacy to the government, traditional rulers, and others to see the need to join the worldwide efforts to eradicate polio, adding that the country is working with WHO and UNICEF as partners to help in the eradication. World Polio Day is celebrated on October 24th. Yearly to commemorate the birth of Jonas Salk, who developed one of the effective vaccines against poliomyelitis. Back here, the alumni of Immaculate Conception Secondary School, ICSS, Ikono local government area, Akwa Ibom State, has held an international reunion of all old students with the theme Return, Reunite and Reflect. Speaking with Planet News, the immediate past president, ICSS alumni, Cornelia Umo, while appreciating members of the alumni for their contributions in renovating the school library, identified some challenges confronting the school and called on the mission to partner with the state government to ensure that the image of the school is brought to life.
This was a former classroom block. We had to break it down so that we can now renovate it to be a library. Many things are lacking. The number of teachers in this school and the number of students. Even as at that time I was in this school, we were having 3 classes, 4 classes, but now they only have 1 class for a class. Like JS1 is 1, up to SS3. And sometimes the number of students that write WAEC in this school is not up to what the WAEC wants. We are not asking that the mission should hand over the school, but we are asking let them partner well with the government.
While commissioning the school library, the Commissioner for Education, Idonse Etiebet, represented by the Director, State Education Qualifier Assurance Service, Roseline Mfon, reiterated the government's commitment in advancing education in the state and country at large. She called on private organizations, NGOs, and other private groups to join hands with the government to make sure education advances in the state.
Coming back to support by renovating and equipping, furnishing the library is a very good thing that has happened. And I want to appreciate them on behalf of government and also add that this should be the spirit in all the schools. Government will do all it takes to make sure that education advances in Akwa Ibom State and even in Nigeria. The government also needs private organizations, alumni groups and NGOs, international development partners, and everybody in short to come in and join hands with government to ensure that education in our state advances. And government also encourages the private bodies, come and register with government. So they have the government backing to run your school.
Also, the incoming president, ICSS alumni Mfon Lawrence, and the principal, ICSS Imabon Iyamba, said renovating the library is to encourage and develop reading habits in the students. They urge all the alumni to identify with their alma mater, which is their roots, to contribute to the growth of the institutions.
ITAC before now had been a household name, not just in Akwa Ibom State, in Nigeria. In my time, we had students that came in all the way from Lagos, from Abuja, from across Nigeria. But today is not the same. And I know that if we work with the government, things we know will get back to normal.
The school was actually in dire need of a library. We know how it used to be in our own time. We have to continue to encourage the younger ones to cultivate the habit of opening books, learn and have that habit of reading. So we decided to come up and renovate a classroom block, convert it to the library, to make sure that that dream, that our aspiration is actually a reality, which it is today.
High point of the event was the commissioning of a well-equipped library, cutting of cake and testimonies by different academic sets, among others. You're listening to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM, Uyo. Let's take a breather and then bring you more stories from our foreign sports and entertainment scenes. Do stay with us.
What's in a woman? Women carry a worth more prestigious than fine stones. We are landmarks of triumph and integrity, humility, beauty, God implanted power and poise. Women always have to be strong, for often our meekness is misconceived as weakness.
This woman's weakness is love.
Every Thursday, 11 to 11:45 a.m. The Woman's Diary on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. Don't miss it.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now, on the foreign scene, the United States has ended assistance to Gabon over its August 30th coup, but said it was ready to provide aid in return for concrete progress towards democracy. The United States, which had already paused assistance after the military takeover, said it had formally determined that a coup took place, which under U.S. laws requires an end to non-humanitarian aid. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller said in a statement that the U.S. will resume assistance alongside concrete actions by the transitional government towards establishing democratic rule, adding that the United States stands with the Gabonese people in their aspirations for democracy, prosperity, and stability. Sport, the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has urged match commissioners to dress professionally at all league games. Chairman of the NFF Match Commissioner Committee, Babangida Kachala, made the statement in a 2023 NFF Match Commissioner Seminar for Southern Province held in Abeokuta. Kachala pointed out that the football governing body in the country has expressed concerns over the growing practice of wearing jersey while officiating games. Still in sport, Coach X Management agreed to part ways after meeting twice, with assistant coach Hedris Muduro taking over as caretaker boss. On our entertainment scene, popular Nigerian singer Raul John Yengyang, better known as Skills, has said that he and his family now live under premature fear following the recent invasion of his residence by operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Recall that Scales had weeks ago called out the EFCC for breaking into his house and wrongly accused him of being a fraudster. Speaking in an interview, Scales said that he has been receiving threats since his outburst against the anti-graft agency, stressing that his life is no longer safe. Has been the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM, Uyo. But before we go, a recap of the major stories. In the news this afternoon, we brought you reports that the Federal Executive Council has approved the application for a $3.45 billion loan to finance 5 items. We also reported that the federal government has received 108 Nigerian migrants stranded in Niger Republic. We also reported that the national chairman of the Nigerian National Polio Plus Committee, NNPPC, Joshua Hassan, has said that the World Health Organization, WHO, and other partners have targeted 2026 as a year to end polio globally. On the foreign scene, we told you that the United States has ended assistance to Gabon after its August 30th coup, but said it was ready to provide aid in return for concrete progress towards democracy. And in sports, we reported that the Nigerian Football Federation has urged match commissioners to dress professionally at all league games. And call our newsroom on 0812-770-2940. You can visit our website on planet101fm.ng and follow us on Twitter at planet_101fm. You could also like our Facebook page at planet101fm Uyo. The news was edited by Jane Uwa. As we end the news, 1 out of the 7 adopted prospective corps members has been released. According to security reports, we can make do with the good news while putting in more work for those still held to be released. Thank you, everyone, and do have a nice day. I am Mary Joseph. Good afternoon.